KBS World Radio coming from Seoul, the Republic of Korea.
여기는 대한민국 서울에서 보내드리는 KBS 월드 라디오입니다. 여기는 대한민국 서울에서 보내드리는 KBS 월드 라디오입니다.
This is KBS World Radio, the Republic of Korea.
여기는 대한민국 서울에서 보내드리는 KBS 월드 라디오입니다.
This is KBS World Radio coming from Seoul, the Republic of Korea.
여기는 대한민국 서울에서 보내드리는 KBS 월드 라디오입니다. This is KBS World Radio, the overseas service of the Korean Broadcasting System, coming to you from Seoul, the capital of the Republic of Korea.
From Seoul, Korea, KBS World Radio News Today starts right now.
On today's broadcast, President Yoon lifts martial law some 6 hours after imposing and calling the National Assembly's vote to block the move. 6 opposition parties, including the main opposition Democratic Party, submit a motion seeking the impeachment of President Yoon. And the president's senior aides offered to resign en masse, while all cabinet members apparently expressed intent to resign in the ensuing political turmoil. This is KBS World Radio News. I'm Daniel Chan. President Yoon lifted martial law early Wednesday morning after the National Assembly voted to block the move. Yoon announced the decision at approximately 4:20 a.m. in a televised address, some 6 hours after he declared a state of emergency and called opposition lawmakers anti-state forces paralyzing essential government functions. Kim Bum-soo has a wrap-up of the situation.
President Yoon has lifted martial law some 6 hours after he imposed it. In the wee hours of Wednesday, Yoon announced his decision in a televised address.
I declared emergency martial law at 11 last night in the face of anti-state forces that paralyze essential functions of the government and destroy the constitutional rule of this free and democratic institution with a resolute will to save the country. However, I have withdrawn the military dispatch for martial law affairs due to the National Assembly's demand to lift martial law a short while ago.
The announcement came after the National Assembly passed a resolution earlier on Wednesday demanding that the president lift martial law.
Nevertheless, I would like to ask the National Assembly to immediately stop its ruthless actions, which paralyze the state, such as repeated impeachment motions and legislation and budget abuses.
During the brief state of emergency, armed martial law troops entered the main building of the National Assembly and barricaded its entrance. In a surprise address Tuesday night, Yoon declared martial law, saying it was necessary to safeguard the constitutional order against what he called anti-state activities. Yoon claimed the opposition was paralyzing the government with its repeated attempts to impeach key government officials and by making drastic cuts to his administration's proposed budget. Kim Bum-soo, KBS World Radio News.
Defense Ministry officials and police officers will be prohibited from entering the National Assembly as of Wednesday after the Parliament's Secretary General said some 280 martial law troops illegally entered the premises overnight. Kimjae made the declaration Wednesday during a National Assembly briefing, denouncing the troops' actions as unconstitutional. He said the prohibition is an urgent measure to protect lawmakers and ensure the Parliament can function. The Secretary General noted that around 20 minutes after President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law, the police sealed off the outer gates to the National Assembly and blocked lawmakers and staff from entering. He added that from 11:48 p.m. Tuesday until 1:18 a.m. Wednesday, the Defense Ministry deployed about 230 armed martial law troops to the National Assembly via 24 helicopters, with about 50 more troops climbing the Parliament's fence to enter the premises. In the midst of a political turmoil following President Yoon Suk-yeol's surprise declaration of emergency martial law late Tuesday and subsequent lifting upon a parliamentary resolution, the opposition bloc and citizens rallied for the president's resignation for his impeachment. The opposition party submitted an impeachment motion to be put to a plenary vote either on Friday or Saturday. Choi Yoo-suk reports.
Crowds gathered in front of the National Assembly on Wednesday, urging President Yoon Suk-yeol to step down or calling for his impeachment. Hours after emergency martial law he had declared the night before was lifted following an unanimous resolution by Parliament. At the rally organized by a bloc of 5 opposition parties, main opposition Democratic Party leader Lee Jae-myung claimed Yoon does not make decisions based on standards that ordinary people apply. The opposition chief said he believes the president may attempt to declare martial law again and could even provoke North Korea, thus bringing about armed conflict if he concludes that martial law measures are not effective. Some civic groups and progressive parties outside the assembly have filed complaints of power abuse and treason with the prosecution against both Yoon and Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun, who reportedly advised the president about martial law. Meanwhile, the DP and 5 minor parties, Rebuilding Korea Party, the Reform Party, the Chindol Party, the Basic Income Party, and the Social Democratic Party, submitted a motion Wednesday afternoon seeking Yoon's impeachment. All 190 lawmakers from the 6 parties, as well as independent representative Kim Jong-min, supported the impeachment motion, which is set to be reported to the plenary session on Thursday to be put to a vote either on Friday or Saturday. Choi Yoo-suk, KBS World Radio News.
Lawmakers within the ruling People Power Party are reportedly nearing consensus on resolutions to urge the resignation of the entire cabinet and the dismissal of Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun after the president's surprise martial law decree and its subsequent reversal. At the party's Supreme Council meeting and an emergency assembly of its representatives on Wednesday, PPP leader Han Dong-hun put forth the 2 proposals and also called on the party to expel President Yoon Suk-yeol. Speaking to reporters after the meetings, Han said opinion remains divided over the president's expulsion from the party. The PPP chief was cautious when asked about the main opposition Democratic Party's push for the president's impeachment amid accusations of treason, saying he didn't want to cause unnecessary confusion by attempting to explain. President Yoon Suk-yeol's senior aides offered to resign en masse on Wednesday after the National Assembly overturned the emergency declaration of martial law that Yoon declared late Tuesday night. According to the presidential office, Chief of Staff Chung Jin-seok and Yoon's chief secretaries offered to step down on Wednesday morning. Meanwhile, a government official said all cabinet members apparently expressed intent to resign and expressed their stance to Prime Minister Han Duck-soo. Currently, the cabinet consists of 19 members, excluding the president and the prime minister. President Yoon Suk-yeol's short-lived martial law decree has disrupted diplomatic schedules. According to diplomatic sources on Wednesday, a scheduled visit by Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson has been postponed, with a new date yet to be announced. Japan's Kyodo News said Japanese former Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga's visit, which was expected to occur in mid-December ahead of the 60th anniversary of the normalization of bilateral ties, was called off. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba's visit in early January for a summit with Yoon, as reported in the Japanese media, could also be affected by the political crisis in South Korea. A tabletop exercise planned to unfold in Washington this week as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen South Korea and the United States' joint deterrence against North Korea has been postponed, and so has the fourth meeting of the Allies' Nuclear Consultative Group. An umbrella labor union has announced a general strike of indeterminate length, saying the strike will continue until President Yoon Suk-yeol resigns. The Central Executive Committee of the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions announced the decision Wednesday morning in a press conference at its office in Seoul, saying the labor union will fight alongside the people for the end of the Yoon administration. The KCTU said the general strike will be the beginning of the end of an era of inequality and polarization, and that it will start a new era of respect for labor. KCTU members in the capital region gathered for a rally at Gwanghwamun Square in central Seoul on Wednesday morning, and separate gatherings at locations designated by the local headquarters. The group then gathered again at Gwanghwamun Square in the evening for a candlelight vigil to oust the president and hold him accountable for declaring martial law and reversing it overnight. And that's the news from KBS World Radio's News Center in Seoul. This has been Daniel Chen.
We may have a new solution for plastic waste management. I'm Gigi Bryan. I'll be back right after the song.